Hey, this is Desiree Marshall, the recruiting Ronin, and before anything else, in case you hear music in the background, that is my next door neighbor going stir crazy. So he's in his garage, blaring his music. So just know that. But anyway, I actually decided to start this video series because the most recent batch of software engineers that I've been doing career coaching for, I've been having a lot of conversations with them with regard to their job search now that they've graduated from boot camp and what they have to look forward to. So I'm sharing the advice that I've given to them in the hope that anybody else who is in a situation where they need to look for a job or are kind of nervous about what their work situation is going to be like over the next few months, then hopefully these tips will help you navigate these coronavirus waters so that we can all stay afloat until we all get to dry land, figuratively speaking. So with that, I'm going to share with you my tips, my 3 key points to a successful job search in times of coronavirus crisis. The first one that I have for you is number 1, mindset matters. My recommendation is be positive, be empathetic, be pragmatic. So be positive in terms of it's easy to get discouraged or to even panic when you're inundated with news articles that talk about how the sky is falling. But it's extremely important that you understand that there will be some sort of crisis coming at us, natural or man-made. And what will set you apart is your ability to focus on the fact that if you combine a winning attitude with a well thought out plan, you will weather this crisis. And chances are you won't just weather this crisis, but you'll also come out even stronger than before. Be empathetic. We're all figuring this out as we go along, both on the client side and the candidate side as well. Companies have been put in a situation where, whatever plans they had in, late 2019, they've laid it all out, and this happened. So we're all trying to sort everything out, ranging from how do we conduct these interviews. We can't do the in-person interviews anymore, and we have to shift to Zoom interviews the rest of the way. And then there are also situations where something that, should have been on site in terms of the role, we all need to be thinking about, is this viable to actually have this, this particular role in a remote situation. If you see, the recruiter or the hiring manager or the company that you've been, working with, maybe a little frazzled, not getting back to you, in a timely manner, just know that that probably has something to do with the fact that they're trying to figure things out. Be pragmatic. To be a pragmatist is to be practical and, focusing on reaching a goal. Obviously, even if your dream is to be in the hotel and restaurant industry or travel or retail, it's prudent to stay away from those industries now and, probably look at others, for the time being. Pragmatic also means that while you're searching for that dream job, if you need to take a job, as one of my candidates likes to call it, just do it. Hiring managers who are smart enough will be understanding of the fact that you have to do what you have to do in order to survive. So it will also show initiative and gumption. So moving on. So that's basically mindset, right? Be positive, empathetic, pragmatic. Second thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is assessment. So you need to assess yourself, the company that you're working for, if you're working with a company right now, and the industry that you're in. So when I say assess yourself, be authentic, think about, I always tell my candidates to know what you want, right? So what's on your wish list? What's on your non-negotiables list? At the same time, know what your strengths are and know what your weaknesses are. Take the time right now, since we're all in quarantine or sheltering at home or staying at home, take the time to Assess whether you should be taking courses, online courses right now, take certifications. Maybe this is a good time to think about certain things that you've been wanting to pursue that you didn't have the opportunity to pursue. Fine tune yourself, upgrade yourself. And your goal should be to ensure that when we all come out with this crisis, you are in the best situation to actually hit the ground running. Assess your current company if you're still with your company. What things have they taken to adapt to a world that might have to deal with coronavirus for the long term? Do they have a remote work policy in place, and is it working? And what's their PTO and sick leave policies? Things like that. You also need to be assessing your industry as well. So there are, of course, industries that will be more negatively affected because of their fixed business model. So think about if your industry can shift quickly. If they can't, consider looking at industries that might be more stable, or will be seeing tremendous growth due to the coronavirus crisis. If you really want to stay in the industry that you're in, good for you. But one of the things that I recommend is look into areas within that industry that are innovating to meet the needs of a coronavirus world. Probably the most important thing that I would recommend to people is strategy. You can't get from LA to New York without having a roadmap of some sort. So, your job search is the exact same way. So have a plan and execute that plan. Some of the most basic things that you can do right now is take a look at your resume. Do you need to update it? There's always room for improvement. And right now is a really, really good time to actually just sit down and, take a look at, certain things on your resume to see if there are changes that need to be made. LinkedIn. I pretty much use LinkedIn. It's always up for me. And, it's been very vital to how I've been able to connect with both clients and candidates. So you should be doing the exact same thing. If you have a few minutes this week, take the time to take a look at your LinkedIn profile and update it if you need to. In addition to that one, don't just have a nice profile in there. Use LinkedIn to your advantage. And what I mean by that is, use it to network with people. You can actually make connections in your pajamas. That's the best thing about LinkedIn. It's a great way to proactively find jobs. Another thing is set weekly goals. So it could be a combination of things like give yourself points, perhaps like 25 points per week. If you've updated your resume, then that's 1 point. If you updated your LinkedIn profile, then that's another point. If you have sent out 5 job applications, hey, that's what is that now? So let's say 5 points. So 5, 6, 7, that's 7. So work yourself towards a particular goal. Maybe do 20, 25. That's easy. Break down your weekly goals into daily goals. So for instance, you can say something along the lines of every single day, I will send out 5 job applications. If you're doing a job search, it is going to be, if you don't have anything going right now, consider it your full-time job until you actually get that job. And yeah, the most important thing about setting those weekly goals is some people fall off of that. So you need to faithfully execute your plan. Otherwise, if you're not consistent with it, ain't gonna happen. In future videos, I'll be giving even more career tips and going even more in depth into a lot of the things that I spoke about today. But if you have any topics or questions that you would like me to cover in future videos, let me know. But till then, Excelsior and Carpe Diem, and stay safe and stay healthy.